everybody, thank you very much for joining me today. Today's reading is going to be Will You Connect Again? So this is for people who have maybe met somebody already and have lost their heart in some way and wondering whether you're going to connect, what's it going to be like, and whether it has some meaning behind the connection at all, you know, as in like not just general sort of attraction, but that little bit of inner depth to it too. You have got three choices. The first one is Tobacco Horizon. The second one is First Love, and the third choice is Iolanthe Swale. Yeah, I made them all up. So if you want to choose which one, maybe you just like the colours, or maybe one particular card speaks to you, and then we'll get stuck in.
La música de Harry Fraud.
Okay, pile number one. I'm going to summarise this to what I could see or what I was feeling as I put the cards out, and I'm going to go through it slowly, which is unlike me, but that's what I'm going to try and do. There's a feeling here of two slightly different personalities. I think your person's very world orientated, very much, I know that sounds silly, but very much into what's in front of them. Probably very practical, very hard working. You've got a lot of pentacle cards up there for them, but there's something quite maybe in a relationship or moved away from a situational relationship, because the Eight of Cups is at the top here, or moving on in life or making changes in their life. You've got a far romantic, far more I'll say libertine then, I don't know if that's the correct word, but there's a someone's searching for love, and I think you have that soul, that type of soul that likes to feel, it's like a sensual soul, I suppose, in some way, that likes to feel as if there's a bit of softness in the world and a bit more than just the routine and getting your job done. And, you know, there's a bit of softness in the bottom pile, which is you. You've got a feeling here of your next connection will have a heavy underlay, or I say underlay and it makes me sound like some sort of Mexican carpet, but it's like underlay. It's coming with a backdrop of intensity that's got something to do with structure, and I think that there's a connection there that's very strong, but it's all up in the air again is probably what I would get. There's going to be more into it than this. This is my first impressions. So Tobacco Horizon, you're starting off up here, and this is mainly for your person. You've got Mars in Aries and Sun in Virgo. That combination together, Mars in Aries can be, I'm going to choose my words wisely, and I don't mean to incite anybody. These are my observations from people who may be famous or people that I've met. Mars in Aries, I've got it wrong actually, I was going to say Venus in Aries, I'm going to change that, so Elizabeth Taylor, you're getting off the hook here. Mars in Aries is straight. With the Sun in Virgo, it's matter of fact, and it's straight to the point, and it's quite energetically cool. It's getting things done and busy and not really looking up, often helping people, often getting involved in projects, often trying to do the best for groups, trying to do the best for, you know, getting stuck into details. This is somebody who puts their energy into work situations, is what I'm feeling here, because you've got across here a huge pentacly feeling. Your person at the moment is coming across as the Page of Pentacles. So with this combination at the top, this is somebody who is stuck into, as I said earlier, it's stuck into the mundane, getting things done, getting projects started, ticking off lists, you know, doing things in the house. Maybe they're a carpenter, maybe they work with their hands, maybe they work with, if they work with kids, and the only reason I'm saying that is, I know has this combination, they're extremely good at working with kids because they've got the energy and they've got the audacity, which I know may sound silly, but with the Virgo there, they very much want kids to come out of a situation knowing how to function in the world in a real way, not just theoretical. So your person may be coming across with this energy, maybe engrossed in a work situation, maybe very down to earth, maybe very energetic, maybe very sporty. This might be somebody who wears this is like a wide sweep here, but somebody who wears trainers a lot, or somebody that likes casual wear. I'm having this feeling of somebody who's in khaki trousers. Is that the wrong word? Does that sound like poo? With the little pockets at the side. What they're called, I don't know. I used to wear those when I was a kid. They were just like from the Army and Navy store. But yeah, that's what it is. They're basically army trousers with something casual on, like a t-shirt rather than... But Aries can be quite clipped. So they may go between both. So if this person's got, I'm just guessing here, might strike a chord with somebody. But if this person wears what they term as casual clothes, these casual clothes are new, not from the Army and Navy store in 1934. Is that a Arctic Monkey song? No, it's not, is it? If their clothes are relaxed and casual, they will be clean, they will be new, and if they've got a beard, male or female, it will be trimmed. It's that type of feeling, clipped, yeah, clipped and formal, but often there's a feeling of with the Aries, they're quite sporty. So that's what I'm getting with regard to their energy at the moment. Probably very much engrossed in what's in front of them. Not really, this hasn't got a sexy feeling, this hasn't got a, I'm going to come round and climb in your back window. That's not a euphemism. It's just basically what it is. I'm going to move on quickly. I'm trying to be really sensible today. The Sage card here for the energy that they're pushing out, that has got a lovely feel. As I was saying earlier with this person that I used to know who worked with kids, and he was just, I mean, he wasn't perfect by any means, but he wanted the best. It's obviously something that he'd seen happen when he was young, and he wanted the kids to experience that, and it was like a passion that he took with him, and that rubbed off on the kids. Doesn't have to be working with kids. So this person, when the things that they touch in life, the people that they touch, not literally, but the people, the environments that they move into, they will be coming across with an ideal and a way to structure it. So this could be somebody who's very good at what they do, whether they're studying, whether they're a baker, whether they are, a CEO. It doesn't really matter. This person's good at getting things moving. This is like somebody who pulls people along with them and you like working for them. This can be a bit, Virgo and Aries can be a bit tense at times. And the person that I've still got in mind, he used to grind his teeth a lot. A good man though, a good man. Okay, so what they're looking for in relationships, the Eight of Cups. This is a strange one. So I'm wondering whether your person at the moment is moving on from a situation, maybe another relationship, because this is the only cup card you got here. Maybe they are not ready to settle, is probably what I'm thinking here. At the moment, they could be just, this is funny that they're moving up steps, which makes me think like marble, concrete things that are real, and all the cups have fallen away. So I'm wondering if this person isn't moving on from a relationship, or some relationship in their life has come to a dead end and they're just in that transitionary period. This is a feeling that somebody who finds it difficult to relate emotionally because they're so busy in the world, being and doing. And that at the end, what are their needs in the relationship? This person's looking for a Queen of Pentacles type, and that will be somebody who doesn't have to be a queen, but I'm not going to make that joke. It will be somebody who will sit with them in life and make their life comfortable, but you've still got Aries there, so there's got to be some passionate. Taurus is passionate. Actually, so's I don't know, but I'm assuming they are. I don't know. And Capricorn will be as well, yeah. So somebody that they can come home to, somebody who will work alongside them, somebody that will, I don't mean like work at home with them like some sort of housewife, but if it's not that, it's somebody who makes life easy, goes out and works for money. I have to say that because sometimes it just feels like we don't do it. Who's had jobs that really you just don't get anything from, but you do it because you either enjoy it or it's part of a process, maybe, I don't know. But the Queen of Pentacles here has a feeling of somebody who is solid in the world, somebody who is happy in their body, happy in themselves, doesn't need things that are relevant, isn't like online ordering 20,000 things every day. I don't know, Taurus could be, but somebody who knows who they are, and there's steady, can't think of a different way to put it. What Taurusy people do I know? Not easily flustered. A man or a woman who is gentle and kind and sensual and enjoys cuddles, even Capricorn and Virgo. They've got to. I always think Taurus out of all the earth signs is the most sensual, but you've got the other two as well. I can't speak from experience here, and I don't really like relaying information I've read in books because I don't know myself, so I don't like to say it. But I've met a couple of Taurusy women, absolutely beautiful. Really, I admired them in a way that I know I could never be that. And because they were just very unflustered, very smooth, very kind but stubborn, very much taking themselves from themselves rather than everybody else's thoughts or opinions around them. And, not easily piqued or insulted, and just like, okay, this is me. Okay, I'm back. I've just said something really rude. So I'm going to carry on. Let's go on to you. The Six of Water. It's so rude. This is why I don't do lives. I just couldn't do it. It'd be the most horrendous thing ever. I would be going to bed thinking, oh my Lord, what did I say? So I don't do it. And the fact that the timing's bad anyway for me to do it from here where I'm in my sister's house. The Six of Water here as well is for you. I've lost my track. Six of Water for you. Now this is quite different from the line above. The Six of Water is somebody who, when they fall in love, they like to love gently but consistently. There's a feeling of softness and sweetness and nostalgia, sentimentality and kindness, and it has, the little picture of the man in that, the little boy in that silly hood that looks like a snood, and he's giving those flowers to the little girl. He's got such a sweet connotations of somebody who waits and allows the relationships to come to them. So there's, it's like, is it Cancerian? The Six of Water, I think so. So that is quite receptive and quite soft, and it's almost a yearning in love. And to be honest, that isn't an insult because we all are yearning for love. Even the most disgusting parts of us are still yearning for love. The Eight of Swords down here, the energy that you're pushing out makes me think you're slightly anxious, possibly because you're so soft. This may have a feeling that you're quite vulnerable when it comes to relationships, and this person feels like they just like clip-clopping. Sorry, I was trying to stop myself from being stupid, but it just keeps coming out. They clip-clopping and their little like clippy heels, and they move in and they move out, and they're busy and they're doing things, and you're just sat there sort of wearing cashmere and all smooth and sexy and, I don't know, gentle hair or something, and they're gone, and you're like, oh my God, I can't breathe. That type of feeling that you don't want that person to possibly realise how much you like falling in love, I would guess here. Now, the Knight of Cups down here for you with what you need in love is to be loved. We all need to be loved, but that is what you're looking for. Not everybody looks for that. And the energy up here is looking for somebody who functions with them and allows their life to be more... It's like a clockwork feeling where everything slots into place. It just that type of thing. Well, you're looking for just straightforward. I like to feel loved. I want to be in love. I want somebody to move through life who supports me, emotionally supports you. And the Ace of Pentacles on the last one here is what you actually need. It's not that. You need this. You need this type of person to, this is like mum talk here, to straighten you out. All those fantasies, throw them away. It's that type of feeling. The Ace of Pentacles is bringing you down to earth. And this person, this is actually quite a nice mix. Because your person may soften, although they're not looking for it. You're looking for love, but what you actually need is to be earth, to be concrete, to only think about what's in front of you. No daydreaming at night, no kissing your pillow, none of that. This is just like, what is going on between the pair of you? What have you actually experienced together? Not what are your fantasies telling you? What are my dreams telling me? I mean, I love that, but not in this relationship is what I'm thinking here. So will you connect again is the question, is actually over here. So will you connect again? You've got the Hierophant card in the central pile, which you look, this person's looking for a, as I thought, it could be Earth, but I'm thinking Taurine all the way through, looking for that. They're looking for this. That's how you're going to connect. You're going to connect on a very practical, a very earth-based, maybe work-based, maybe church-based, maybe some sort of structure. So you're going to probably connect inside some sort of building, all those things that I've mentioned already. You've got here the Moon cards, which doesn't surprise me because the connection between the pair of you is different. You're both coming from different angles. But this one is saying that you need to adjust, which when I read cards, it's much better to say they need to adjust because it sounds nicer. But there's growth to be had in every connection that we move into. So when you're with this person, just connect on what's in front of them. What are they actually saying? Concentrate. Look in their eyes. What are they saying? Not what are you thinking? Is your heart rushing? Do you want to run? Do you want to kiss them? It's like, okay, just talk to them. What can you actually hear coming out of their mouth? No fantasies. No bits you've added in for a bit of flourish. Then you've got here the Justice card. And these two cards are almost, flanking the Hierophant card. So this next get-together is going to be in a structured environment in some way, whether it is work, whether it's a church, whether it's just a building. And it's going to have a combination of sharing with the Justice card there, a feeling of connection with the Justice card here, as if you're trying to sort of bring these two things together, but that is going to leave behind the confusion that you've felt until now. So this next get together feels nice. And it's funny that under the card, these are more the practical, what's happening practically. This is more, I suppose, internally, but they tend to meld here. You're going back to your card, the Six of Water here. It's going to give you a chance to know that the things you're searching for that you're not allowed quite yet, you're going to get this from this person. This person's going to say something in particular that's going to catch you. You know they've remembered something you said in a past conversation, or they're going to just straightforward reveal something that's sentimental or something they're curious about that has a softness about you. So you're going to go away with a smile on your face after this next connection when you connect again. You've got the Fool on either side of the practical thing, so it'd be something sudden. The Hierophant card isn't sudden because it's an everyday event. It's structured. It may be something that is, like ritualistic in some way. The Hierophant, you do it every day. You go to work or you pass this person, they work in the same shop or that type of thing. But with the Fool card here, something happens that's quick. Like what? Like what? You tell me, cards, like what? What's going to happen that's going to be shocking? Because the other cards aren't shocking. Oh, this one flipped up, but to be honest, it didn't feel right to take it, but I'm going to put it aside there because it's my favourite card. But there is a feeling here, though. Maybe it flipped up for a reason. This, to me, could be like, do you know when you walk around when you're getting your bean cans or whatever in Tesco, whatever supermarket you go to, and you come around, you do that dance with somebody. You sort of backwards and forwards. That could be something like that, where you're quite close. Ten of Pentacles, financial, business dealings, something sudden, change of project, you being called in, you getting to work with them, you bumping into them in work, new starts, new beginnings, Hierophant, new projects. I've said that once. I've said it was like Larry Grayson's conveyor belt here. Yes, probably. It's like a work situation. It's something that requires effort, this person's ideal situation. And you're getting out of it what you want, which is a connection that's more emotional, more... it's a sweeter feel to it here. I think this is going to be, your next connection with them is going to be something that they're fulfilling who they are. You're yearning to show who you are, but you're not allowed to. I don't think so. The Hierophant card here, I think that you're meeting them on their level, which is going to be good for you because of the Ace of Pentacles here. You've got the Two of Earth down here, which to me makes me think that it's like all guns... No, it's not all guns blazing. It's more... It's playful. It's more like, okay, you to me, to me to you. Oh, Choco Brothers. It's like pushing and pulling between the pair of you until this person's actually grabbing the bits out of you that you think don't work in terms of relationships, and it's really going to work for you. It's going to make you more rounded, less fantastical in some way. Put that into something else, don't lose it. With relationships, you may need to be more structured at the moment to get a different part of you developing, and just to be able to relate, to talk, to function, to not to not want to run, to just be cool and just see what is in front of you. And this person's ideal is this, asking you to come out like this. Your meeting is going to be this, all earth. So to summarise here, will you connect again? I feel that you're going to connect. This to me feels like unfinished business. It feels like it's there's like a feeling of the Ace of Pentacles here is what you need. It's got a rounded and to me it feels like gathering things together, like putting stones in a bucket or something. The Hierophant card has the same feeling because it's earthy and it tends to put a boundary around things. So there's something with regards to why this person may have the Sage. There's something here with regards to your connection to each other, that you're learning to be a different part of yourself, and this person is that part that you need to learn to be. Maybe your Sun is progressing into an earth sign. Maybe, I don't know, you've got something else in your chart that's quite earthy, possibly Virgo, maybe Taurus, and you're learning to develop that a bit. So your connection is going to carry on. You're going to meet this person again. I feel that you're going to be pulled in through a situation which is quite practical in some way. It's going to feel either new or exciting. These two cards suggest that there's something structured in it, but still different. The Fool card there is like something new starting, but it's structured. I don't know what it is, but I feel like it's going to feel heavy for you. I feel that you're going to feel you're pulling things out of yourselves. Hold on, I've got to take this off. Sorry, I'm back. If my camera's on for more than half an hour, have I been talking for that long? It tends to click itself off. This to me feels that this could belong to you, not just in practical situations between the pair of you, and that's finding who you are and not moving with it. Who you are in relationships without because the reason I'm saying this, and just ignore if it doesn't feel like you, the energy that you're pushing at the moment is quite anxious. I'm not saying that this person can see it, but you may be overthinking. I'm trying to think. It's like blocked in with your thoughts, isn't it? And not knowing how to get out of it. So maybe over anxious, maybe concerned, maybe feeling trapped in who you think you are, who you should be. I don't really know, but this is, to me, it feels like an unpleasant mindset. I'm not saying you have an unpleasant mindset, but occasionally, and at night, you can sometimes get into these feelings. Just a funny thing just to add here, that my mum used to be really low in potassium, and at the same time I was too. And we both turned around to each other at one time and said, "Do you feel anxious in the evening?" And she said, "Yes." And the more that I've looked into that, there's something to do with that. So eat your bananas. That's what I'm saying here. And that might make you feel more rested in who you are and what you're searching for, because you are searching for love, but it's not going to come in the package. It's not going to trot in on a unicorn. It really isn't. This person doesn't talk about unicorns. This person talks about work. This person talks about cars or measurements or scientific things, or something that's really in the real world. They may talk about things that they've seen or they've bought, or things that they need for the house, or asphalt or concrete. Who knows? It's just everyday things where you are more in love, an artist soul, let's say. But when it comes down to real events, it could be quite painful for you because you've thought too much about it, you've fantasized a bit about it, and then you're falling into it, and here it is, slam bang in your face, and it's asking you to be incredibly contained. So, what I was trying to say, this is what your next connection is going to feel like. It's going to be in a very structured environment. It's going to be something sudden. You're going to be struggling with who you are, but you're not, because we've just talked about it. You're going to come across as really in control of yourself, really well maintained, well structured, control. And then you've got the Justice card here. There'll be some sort of interlink between the pair of you, which will feel kind and feel sweet and fulfill what you're looking for, but not what you should need. I know I sound like Nanny McPhee again here. There's going to be a connection between the pair of you. Something said, something remembered that's going to really make you feel good. And then again, when you get the two of Earth here, it's like juggling that feeling. It's a feeling of this game is playing again. You know, we're all moving again. I can go back to this. No, don't do it. Don't do it. Just not because it's not the right thing to do. I think a balance of everything here, but it may get you out of this if you forget your emotions. It may get you out of a slightly anxious feeling if you forget your emotions, and this person wants to meet you on a very normal, everyday conversation. Imagine that. Okay, pile number 1, I hope that helps. Thank you very much for joining me today. Thank you for all your comments. I normally reply to the ones that come out straight away, but sometimes I can go back at the end of the week when I get more time and look at the other ones. But thank you very much. Bye-bye. Pile number 2, which is first love. This has got a feeling of playfulness in it. There's a feeling of excitement. There's a feeling of, you know, when people play with their words and it's cheeky and you're poking fun at each other and it makes it even more exciting. Some people like that, and there's a lot of air up here. You've got the moon in Gemini and the sun in Libra at the top here. This is more for your person. This one's more for you, which again is a Gemini card. So to me, I feel there's a lot of air between the pair of you. There's that need to make life funny with regards to words and communicating and get some sort of some form of real titillation from ideas and things expressed is what I'm thinking here. It's like excitement upon meeting each other. It's like lots of talking here. This is more what's going on from the background from the pair of you. As we move over here, which will come later on in the reading, we're looking at the actual next meeting, next connection. So I'm going to try and put it all together here. There is a feeling here that your actual get together will be difficult in some way, but what's behind this and what will continue afterwards is strong and nice. So this is what we've got here. Moon in Gemini and Sun in Libra. The only person I can think of when I'm looking at this, and I never remember his name, I know it's Hugh, and I always say Hefner, and it's not Hugh Hefner, it's Hugh Wolverine, whatever his name is, Jackman, Hugh Jackman. And that combination is charming, is... who was I watching yesterday? Denis Villeneuve. I've got a slight obsession on this guy. For some reason, I'm really drawn towards his films. And he was talking about Hugh Jackman. He said he was very humble. I don't know if that is humble, but I suppose they're just driven by keeping life feeling light, I suppose, which is a form of... That's just an aim in life, isn't it? To keep it light. You know, if you think that you're winning the game down here, it's how light you can keep life, I think. And this has got a feeling of lightness about it. So the Knight of Swords here also has my hint of Aquarius, and this is them, how they're coming across at the moment. So if you met this person, whether they have any air in them or not, this may be an image that you're picking up from them. This is the energy that they're pushing out, even if they're like Taurus or whether they're Capricorn. The energy that they're pushing out is intellectual, bright, articulate, nervous, able to fill in the gaps of conversations and doing it in a very genteel, very sort of gentlemanly or ladylike way. This would be somebody who, unless they've got water in there or other properties like earth, can be a bit of a will-o'-the-wisp and in and out of situations and not really attaching in some ways. But with regards to connections and what you may have seen from them, it's somebody who may actually teach as well with all this air. And they may actually stand on a podium, people listening to them with this card here. Somebody who is interested in ideas, likes to speak about what they're thinking, and likes to mill things around inside their body to make sense of the world, to put things into categories a lot of the time, but often can do it in a very artistic Libra way, which is Venus-y. So they could work in like graphic design, or they could work oh my gosh, there's just so many jobs. How many jobs actually pulling information, try and organise it, a lot of mental work going on, and then possibly actually giving that out to the public in some way with this card here. But this person would be charming, is what I'm trying to say. So your charmer you've got here, the energy they're pushing out is the Two of Wands. This is making me think the Two of Wands, even though it's a Wands card, which is fire, because of this, I've obviously seen some Tesla experiment where there's electric going on, and I think even David Bowie was in it somewhere, I don't know. I get mixed up with my dreams, so I never really know. This has got somebody who's got that energy that is sparky. It cuts, not in a nasty way, but it slices through bullshit in some way. So your person will be having none of what's going on around them if they feel that it's wrapped up in poo. I don't know another way to put that, but if there's anything going on around them that feels false, that's what I'm trying to say. There's a word for it, isn't there? Please put it in the comments section. What's it when there's a lot of fluff going on around in the world, or around their workplace, or around their relationships, and they just cut to the quick in a very diplomatic way? So that's the energy that this person's pushing out. Very attractive. You've got here the Ace of Cups. What they're looking for in relationships, this person wants to fall in love. Never mind how intellectual this person is, I'm realising it may not be a good idea. Their heart wants to feel loved and give love and experience the things that they can't quite write down on a piece of paper, which is love. None of us can really understand what on earth's going on, why we yearn for it so much. I was going to sing a Prince song then in the middle of it, but I'm not going to. But it's who we are, basically. And this person may actually know that deep down because they're a searcher, maybe. They may be into all different types of, I don't know the words for these things, but into all different types of spirituality, like yoga, and they may be searching for the answers of why we're actually here. And the Ace of Cups, they realise what it is, and it's to give love and to be love. And I sound romantic, don't I? But that is something to do with it. And what they need in a relationship is the Emperor. Bizarre. Why the Emperor? Why would you need the Emperor in a relationship? Maybe that's to take control, because this air is, if you actually think of air in your head, not like that, it's quick in and out, isn't it? It's just like, you can't contain it. It's just quick and it's light and it's bright. But the Emperor's here saying, move it and groove with it in some way. Oh my Lord, I do sound like Fonzie. It's control it, maintain it, and use it, and stand up and be counted type of feeling here with the Emperor card here. So this person needs to actually move themselves and take responsibility in some way, or take the, what's the word when you're boss? You've got to be boss. Okay, let's have a look at you. You're coming across possibly as Gemini. You may have strong Gemini in you. You've got a similar feeling here to you. There's a similarity between both of these piles here. The Lover's card is like a combination of the air and the Ace of Cups to me. So you're coming across in very much the same feeling of somebody who likes to play with life, somebody who's light-hearted, somebody who likes a relationship that is fun and makes them feel awake and alive, but is looking for love as well, if not tip-top on top of that. Tip-top. You've got here for you the energy you are going through at the moment, or what you're pushing out. The first card to come out was yes. I often ignore those, but I will lay them on top. You've got the karmic release card here. So the energy that you're feeling at the moment, or that you're pushing out, is a feeling of recognition. You know this person is going to play some part in your life. To have the karmic release of the yes underneath is, to me, is quite a big deal with a Lover's card there. This feels like somebody you've known in past lifetimes, and this is the one part in astrology and tarot and lives in general that fascinates me. It's the thought of karmic connections in some way, and how we feel those and how we just know and how you can see in people's charts. And that to me is to come down to this lifetime and excuse me, and have to think that there's a possibility to recognise a connection that you don't even know about. You feel it inside yourself, and then you can see it perhaps in cards, perhaps in astrology. I mean, just the possibility of that blows my mind. Absolutely blows my mind. I feel that you may be similar with these two cards here. And you know that this person feels like, and I don't use this word, I think I use it probably twice a year, it feels like a soulmate. Right, okay, so what you're actually looking for, Four of Pentacles, why would you be looking for the Four of Pentacles? Look, I'll explain the card and then perhaps you may know. The Four of Pentacles in relationships would be maintaining it, containing it, time to yourself, not really needing a relationship. Maybe that's why you're drawn to this person, because this person loves but doesn't need. I sound like Nanny McPhee in every one of these piles. I was just about to do the next line that goes with it, but I'm not going to. And you're the same. You feel a connection to this person, but you don't need them. And the card that what you actually need in relationships is the Sun. And there's nothing more beautiful than having the Sun in that space there. What you need in relationships is to give. Oh my gosh, that's bringing little pinky tears to my eyes. You both do. Oh, these two piles, you on top of them, them on top of you, whatever your choice, I don't mind, is preference, I meant then, is absolutely, it's a reflection of each other, but there's some beauty in this to be had, because you're both slipping around life, being light-hearted, touching into situations, touching into relationships, you're letting life flow through you rather than trying to, even with this card here, trying to maintain and control the environment. Why have you got this here? I'm going to pull this down and go back to it. But you're still looking, oh my God, I'm sounding like Chicken Licky now, to express your ability to love. Nothing more fantastic than that. Why have you got this down here? Oh, I know. Because you want somebody who's similar to you, that isn't looking to control you, isn't trying to tie you down. Too much air in this. There's too much movement in this. But you need a karmic connection, that soulful feeling to feel that you're not wasting your time, or somebody doesn't really care about you, even though that they're, oh, yeah. I watched a film last night. This has got this feeling to it. I don't know what it was. My husband puts films on, and I don't watch TV, and I normally sit reading on the couch because I'm very excited. Anyway, and this film came on, and it was like Leap Year, if you've watched that film, which I do love, which is an Irish love story of a journey with Amy Adams in it, and some very handsome Irish, no, he wasn't Irish, guy who lives down the road actually. And this one was like a Croatian version of it. I don't know if it was from Croatia, and the scenery was beautiful, and the guy who was living in the house that this woman whose mother had died had gone back to find it. The way that he functioned in the film was very much like this. He was very laid back, very easygoing, kind. Everybody loved it. I know they're setting us up, aren't they, to make me watch the film, which I did. And he was funny with it as well. There was a point, I will say this quickly because then I'll move on to this. There was a point where she'd gone into the house, which her mother had died, and she'd got into bed basically. Yeah, woke up next to him, not knowing that he was basically squatting in his old house. She got out of bed and she was wearing those Spanx things, you know, with like shorts that go in up your whole body and then into like a camisole thing at the top. And he said, "Did you cycle here?" Anyway, that made me laugh. There's something like light-hearted, something very much searching for beauty in life and wanting to feel a karmic feel is what I'm trying to say. Let's go on to what I'm really trying to answer. Will you connect again? Now, you've got the Seven of Wands and the Three of Swords here. So this beauty that is basically raring to go is going to find it difficult to get this moving. To me, this is like every time you make a plan or every time you think you're going to see them, or something is always in the way, and it feels antagonistic to me. It feels hard, and it feels like your actual connection with the Emperor card and the Knight of Wands is controlled by outside forces. There's the desire to get there, but with the Emperor card here, it's like something's always getting in the way. And how are you going to get there? The Justice card, the Knight of Swords, are bringing me back to this airy feeling by maybe conversations on the phone or maybe, you know, emails and things, but actually getting together may be really difficult. But I wonder whether there's a time thing in this, because you've got the Mother of Water down here with this feeling here. It's like let it unroll, let the love unroll at its own pace, the Mother of Water here, which is very much in charge of this energy and this energy. This has got a feeling of the need to express yourselves, the need to play with conversations and words and, you know, a light-hearted approach to this relationship where you are just being yourself and loving each other without wanting anything. So will you connect again? I think so, but I don't think it's going to be easy. If it's not got something to do with perhaps the backdrop to getting together and that being difficult, these two cards could possibly say that there could be some form of your next get-together being a little bit arsey, which can often be the case. The more the build up with this and this and this and this, the more the higher the expectations and the easier to overham the next connection, the next get together, which could be with the Emperor card here. And this person's learning to control themselves, maybe because they've got the Emperor here. They may be learning to control who they are and how they come across, because this has got a very fluid feeling to it. If you're thinking of people sat on a couch being interviewed, and you've got Hugh Jackman on the couch, and you've got perhaps, let me think of somebody really arsey in, what's his name? Plays Iron Man. He's not arsey, but I've seen an interview with him when the interview pushes and he says stop. Hugh Jackman's probably the one that would not want. I can imagine him being terse if he needs to be, but you'd have to really push him, is what I'm saying. Who's the guy that plays Iron Man? I don't remember, but he was good. He just stopped somebody who was pushing and pushing. So there's a feeling here perhaps this person doesn't really know how to say stop, but could oftentimes come out of a get-together or a situation, whether it's with you or with others, and feel hurt or feel as if they've been pushed back because they're not getting out of life what they feel they want to play with. Maybe your next get-together, this doesn't have to be with you. This could be in a situation that is awkward. The things that are going through my mind, you know, if you know each other already, it could almost be like something else has annoyed them, or somebody else is having a go at them and you're witnessing, or because this is defensive and this is hurt. What is going on? Can't do anything. You don't talk to each other. You can't express yourselves, and you're very good at that. I don't know. This could be two things. The Knight of Pentacles to me is slowing it down. And as I said initially, this could take a long time to actually get face to face. Where these cards here are speaking perhaps of an arsey get together where the excitement takes you both away. You know, words come out quick with somebody with air, and the wrong words could come out too quick. And you try and backtrack a bit, and there's like hurt there, and this person brings down the shutters in some way, and it can be quite forceful possibly. Two scenarios there is the best that I can do with that. But to me, this has got a feeling with the Justice card, the Knight of Swords here, that there is something shifting around in here. It's like trying to find balance here. It's like having the Two of Cups between the pair of them. And to me, my advice would be here to express yourself in with regards to your sweeter feelings towards this person, I think, with the Mother of Water here, and it must go both ways, I expect, because there's sweet feelings here, but don't be put off by your next get together. If it starts going down a wrong track, pull it back, and you know, try and play the situation with your heart a bit more than with your mouth. Even if this person is a bit the one that's bringing out the Seven of Wands card here. So I hate it when I get two situations because I can't contain one in my head. The first situation is speaking of timing to me, with regards to your next connection, that it could be difficult to get together, but in that timing there's time to express yourselves with regards to your attraction in a very soft way, softer than just communicating. If it's not that in your next get together, and if that's on the cards, it's like control the way that you speak, control the way that you communicate. Even if you're really excited to see this person, don't overdo it, don't overham the jokes, because it can fall flat here. Both of you feel that there's something big going on between the pair of you, and this has got the most it's almost like a childlike feel of learning how to love big, with this. So there's a feeling of innocence here, and there's a feeling of expressing yourselves with each other in a way that's much needed and much admired, or even adored, to be honest, between the pair of you here. So, and the advice at the end is, when you do connect, whether it is the long-term one or whether it is your next get-together, is to do it with your heart. Control for you. So I wonder whether it's you that's going to say the wrong thing, or try not to. Nothing's set in stone. So that is, when you connect, yes. Is there a lot going on in this relationship? Big time. It feels absolutely magnificent. But control the playfulness, so it doesn't turn into narkiness. Because the word I was going to use at the beginning was banter. You know, in quick words going backwards and forwards, and one's trying to be funnier than the next. I saw Jake Gyllenhaal on a programme being interviewed years and years ago, and he's quick. I think he's got Gemini moon or something. There's a lot of air in him. I know he's Sagittarius, but there's a lot of air in him. And he was going back with a guy, oh God, what's his name? Floppy hair British presenter. I'm useless with names. He was being interviewed, and both of them were pulling the quickness out of each other, and it was going backwards and forwards and backwards and forwards. And then it just met a dead end. And it was like, you can't pull any more out of that. You've got to stop there. And for me, being a Gemini, to say that, it must have been pretty. It wasn't bad, but it was, you know, it was very obvious that they were just both very similar energy, and it got to a point where it had to stop. This is just bring your heart in rather than your mind or your words. So yeah, you will connect, but those two scenarios, I'm not going to give you again, are probably what I'm thinking of here. I hope that's clear. I know it's long-winded, but that's the best I've got. I'm going to love you and leave you. Bye. Okay, pile number, let me just move these up. Pile number 3, your Atlantis Swale. There's a feeling here of persistence with regards to their energy and wanting to get close to you, and somebody who is not particularly bothered by time, bothered about doing it in the next, you know, few days, next week, next year. Maybe that's stretching it a bit too far, but this person is in a process. They're not really concerned with immediate results, I guess. Here you've got the moon in Taurus and the sun in Scorpio. Both of those are very, very fixed, very controlled, very observant feeling here. Not so much the Taurus being observant. Of course, Taurus observes, but it's not their, you know, one of their main qualities. You've got the Eight of Pentacles here at the beginning for them as well. So to put these 3 cards together, this is a feeling of somebody who's actually weaving a web, and they are prepared to take their time. This isn't somebody, as I said, they're not rushing this. Will you connect again? They've got an idea in their head. They probably know that they're like playing a game to me, not in a aggressive and trying to trip somebody up sort of way, but in a way that they may just, with the moon in Taurus there, they may just like the foreplay of the whole process. It's that I can unravel this in my own time, and the longer it takes, the more sexy it's going to be type of feeling here. And you're like, oh, damn. You've got the Five of Pentacles here as their energy. That's not a good card to be honest, for their energy, because it makes people feel, it's got the word hardship here, it makes people feel like they don't deserve, or they're pushed out of a situation, or it's which the Sun in Scorpio, especially with this feeling here. As I go on, the cards will develop. This is a feeling of somebody with regards to, and you're trying to see if you're going to connect again. This person isn't in a particularly good place at the moment from what I've got, what I can see here, to give love. The reason that I'm saying that is this is all fixed, and this is trying to control the circumstance. So this person's trying to get close to you, but I don't feel, with what I've seen so far, this may change, is in a good place to give out at the moment. Maybe that's why they're taking their time. Maybe they're wise enough to know that things need time to heal, possibly here. Things need time to develop, and in the process, maybe this person just gets attached slowly. I don't know. The Page of Swords here, for what they're looking for is communication. This is it's a nice card to have with these cards behind it. This person wants to talk. This has got a feeling of innocence and words exchange, not moving too fast. And that is a very earthy feeling. If you've ever fallen in love with a Capricorn, they like things, or Virgo, or Taurus. I don't know Taurus, to be honest. I've observed Capricorns and Virgos falling in love, or the energy type falling in love. And they like things to be real, and they don't like to rush it. This isn't somebody who wants to grab you and pull you in a cupboard. This will be somebody who wants to go out for a meal with you and talk to you, who wants to go out for a walk and learn about you, rather than ravaging you at the back of the cinema. I don't know what people do nowadays. Yeah, somebody who wants to communicate and to be light-hearted. They're allowed to do the weaving. You're not, is what I'm feeling here. It's like they're doing it from a point or a place of trying to protect themselves from getting in too deep, too quick, and not knowing where they stand, and possibly, if they're wise enough, knowing that they may not be on level ground, so that not only would they hurt themselves, but they may hurt you too, which has got a feeling of dignity to it in some way, which Scorpio, it depends on the aspect, wouldn't it? So what do they need in a relationship? The Seven of Wands. And this is like a little beavery thing here, building this little dam. They need it to be layered. It's like Jenga. It's like the Jenga relationship here, what this person's looking for. They want to put a block in. Oh, that fits nice. I'm feeling safe. Put the other block on top. Okay, keep it balanced. Let's put the other block. This person's unraveling slowly. It's not one of those like clicker-clacker things that you put down the stairs. You know, those things that kids say, and it's done. This is like somebody who is very smoothly, it is like rolling out a purple carpet. And it slowly unravels, and then you can step on it and come towards them. So I know this is basically a backdrop to the connection bit that's over here, but this is what I'm feeling, to see if it feels right for you. So you're coming across as a complete opposite down here. You're coming across as the Fool. So the Fool card wants to jump into situations, wants things now, wants it to be exciting, wants it to be fun, wants to feel that dopamine fix or that adrenaline rush in love, I guess, here. Now, the energy that you're actually pushing out is the Eight of Swords here, and you've got the Yes card underneath it. Sometimes I use the Yes, sometimes I layer it, sometimes I lose it. This is like a feeling of this person may have given you the come on in some way. You know this person's attracted to you. They've unravelled their purple carpet. That's not a euphemism, in some way, and they have... I'm going to say led you towards them, allowed you to come towards them, and it's causing anxiety because of the different ways you relate. So you're getting messages from them like they're not interested, and you're like, well, they would have phoned me if they were interested. And there is always that, but people do have different timings. Okay, so what you're looking for in a relationship is to communicate as well. The Ace of Swords is like new thoughts, new ideas, new perspectives, new people in your life, excitement with regards to how to communicate, you know, chatting and talking, communicating. What else would the Ace of Swords be? New mindset is probably the main thing I would guess here. And you've got the Fool card here. They're both like fresh starters. You're looking for something fresh in your life. Not you. And you're getting somebody slow moving. So they're different, but it's not what you expected. You're getting the excitement of somebody that feels right, but you're not getting the excitement of it. You want it to be quicker, is probably what I would say here. Yeah, and it's giving you anxiety, which has come out twice. So this person isn't showing their feelings quick enough because they're tempering their responses due to the fact that they feel something may have happened in this person's childhood to feel like they were shut out, or something has happened in past relationships to make them feel a little bit cooler with regards to their responses. Anyway, let's move on to your need in relationships, the Four of Cups. You don't really need that much. I would say from this card here that you may... There's even a feeling here you may have, what's the quote out of train spotting? Lust for life. And I don't mean that in such a harsh way. It's like you could be a bit disillusioned with relationships. As in you thought, okay, you show me what's going to happen, and then I know you can't because you've got this. Maybe that's not trusting this. So you're needing relationships with the Four of Cups, but you're coming across as the Fool card. So you want things straight in your face, truthful, honest, exciting movement, but you're needing relationships. You don't, perhaps that goes with that Aquarius fear of not really needing a relationship, but being interested in the excitement that builds. Don't really, really need somebody by the side of you all the time. So why anxiety then? Because you're impatient? Does impatience cause anxiety? Oh. It can feel like anxiety, impatience. You can't get it moving quick enough. Yes. You can't get it moving quick enough. And this person's not rushing. So, okay, let's keep moving on to the, will you connect again here? You've got the Four of Cups over here with regards to, this is like something that's offered and it's difficult to take up, or you don't take it up. Four of Cups in relationships. The reason that this is confusing because you've got the Knight of Wands underneath it, and this is what's happening in the real world. So this is somebody who's coming towards you in a very straightforward way, very courageous way. But why the Four of Cups for something that's more internal, which are the top cards here with regards to the connection. You may share space together. You may have a relationship that, or you may have had a relationship, and your person is... Okay, this is what it's feeling like to me. It may be different scenarios, but I have to choose one or it gets too complicated. And there's so many cards that anyway, I've got to choose one. This to me feels like a relationship that's already started. It feels like you may have a backdrop. This may be an ex-lover. This person moves slowly. This person's quite controlled. To me, it feels like they hold a lot of the cards in this relationship here. It feels that you are... not so much needing a relationship, but you need confirmation in some way. You don't particularly, with the combination of cards here, it feels like you don't particularly need somebody to settle down with and to live with the rest of your life with. It doesn't have to be long term or commitment, but you do need recognition. You need people to, you may be one of those people that text a lot, or that you may be somebody that needs a lot of contact, as in like texts or phone calls, and this person has gone quiet, to me is what it feels like. Will you connect again? There's a feeling of a backdrop that is stable between the pair of you, but it doesn't feel there's much movement in the near future. With the Four of Swords on this side, and you've got the Four of Cups and the Four of Swords is difficult cards, and this is answering the actual question, not just the build up here. So the King of Swords is somebody who's quite truthful. This person doesn't really put a face on or give you, doesn't give you fluff. They will give you answers, or they're straightforward. There's a strong feeling here. This person's fixed. They're going to stick to the guns in relationships and where they'd have their stance in any sort of connection with somebody. So there's a feeling here you possibly the backdrop to it. I feel that there's been no contact for quite a long time here. Your person's not scared of coming forwards, but they're stubborn. These cards here with the Queen of Swords here and holding on here, it's like somebody who's strong, courageous. They could do it. They could come to you. They're stubborn. There's the Strength card at the bottom. This card at the bottom to me is more like a karmic feeling. What is going on in the relationship with the Strength card here? There's a feeling here of having to learn to pull the best out of yourself. So looking back at your pile here with will you connect again here, I know you get more than you're bargaining for here. We may say less than you're bargaining for because I've got to concentrate on this pile, but there's still things that are bugging me because this is like this person you could connect again, but this person is, to me, feels as if they are holding the key and not doing what you want, and it's making you anxious. So that's why I'm flicking from what is going on in this relationship to try and help you with how to deal with it possibly here. With the Strength card here is when we go down into our best selves and we function as we can in the world that makes us feel proud of ourselves, I suppose. And then you've got here anxiety feelings here with impatience, and then possibly here you don't really need a relationship. You don't need this person, but you do want to have their attention. Is probably what I would say here, and the fact that it may be intermittent with these cards here together is causing you some form of anxiety here. And you've got even like the speech, the communication with you may get small bits of it, but you're still anxious. It's like you're waiting for the next bit. So will you connect again? I think there's going to be a lot. It's going to carry on in the same vein. If you're getting some form of connection, I feel that will carry on. Which could be like texts or emails or a few phone calls, whether there will be a get together or whether this relationship will kick off again. I feel that it's not ready to yet, to be totally honest here. I'm trying to twist it so it's got to have a positive ping to it, but at the moment there's too much in this pile here that feels as if there's still lessons to be learned, because this person's coming out strong and you're coming out slightly as in asking and wondering. And let's just say you've got a spirit guide up there, down here beside you, right behind you at the moment. They would be wanting me to say, you don't need a relationship, but you don't need you don't need this person's attention. We're calling back on what do you need from this person then? Something's gone on in the past that's made you feel loved, I guess, with these cards here. Your person's strong. Your person feels quite forceful in the way that they view life, and then once they've made up their mind, they stick to it. So it's like hammering at a door. There used to be an old advert here in the 70s, and probably was, young enough to watch that, but it was like, I keep on knocking but I can't get in. It was a little pea trying to get in a bag of peas, and this is what it feels like. So I'm going to start wrapping this up to answer the question, will you connect again? I feel that the connection that you get next time will not fulfill you enough to make you feel at ease. I feel the Strength card down here, you're going to have to dig deep right down inside yourself to not care whether this person calls, whether they pass you with your best friend on their arm. It's that type of feeling here. Because your person's strong, and I guess what's happening here, the Strength card, is that your spirit guide is whispering, measure up to that. Even if they appear tough, measure up to it. See what happens then. So, I don't think you're ready to connect again as yet. Something's going on in between the pair of you that feels like this person, it almost feels like this person, the Chariot card here, I'm thinking like Ben-Hur. Do you remember Ben-Hur? Is anybody as old as me out there? When I used to be fascinated by that film. I don't know why. I loved all those biblical epics, not that it was in the Bible. Was Ben-Hur in the Bible? I don't think so. Anyway, he's going around the track. One of them's going around the track and somebody goes underneath the wheels. This is what I'm seeing in my head as I'm looking at that card and thinking of this here. It's like you don't want to go under this person's wheels. You want to be able to get next to them in your chariot and drive alongside them, and then you can have your communication, then you can chat. When you're both, it's asking you to be slightly fierce, to be honest, because this person's solid. in who they are. And to be honest, I feel that they should be more flexible. Then they can't have any new energy coming in if they're cutting themselves off a little bit. So difficult pile here, pile number 3. But what I would say, will you connect again? I don't feel as yet. I would give this 4 to 6 months. And in the meantime, I would toughen myself up and I would be an old boot. I am an old boot, but you should be an old boot, you know, with regards to how you see connections and just, yeah, not be tough inside yourself, but just focused. Let's put it like that. I'm going to say goodbye. Thank you very much for joining me. Bye.